standing as we honor our country with the singing of the national anthem, performed by Leander High School's very own Madison Cook.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
We're also excited to give a huge shout out to our newest Friday night crew.
Are you ready? What? Yeah! Y'all ready to break the
Welcome to the Lion Nation Podcast, brought to you by SHN Sports. Tonight's commentators are Chuck Crazy, Mark Sickles, and Gary Gutierrez. Game time!
Welcome to AC Bible Stadium in Leander, Texas for tonight's game between the Stony Point Tigers and the Leander Lions. My name is Mark Sickles, and I'll be providing play-by-play tonight. Gary Gutierrez will add color commentary. Rich Hensley is producing the broadcast. Mickey Holden is working the camera, and John Salazar is our spotter. Tonight's game for September 14th, 2018 is being broadcast on SHN Sports. Follow our games this season at shnsports.com. This game is being broadcast live by audio, but according to district policy, it cannot be broadcast live by video. You can watch the video after the mandatory delay, most likely after midnight. I just wanted to pass that along to everyone out there listening and trying to watch the podcast. Gary, here we are in week 3. Leander Lions are 1-1 with the season opening 23-3 win against Pflugerville Weiss and a 37-23 loss last week against the Pflugerville Panthers. What have we learned from the first 2 games watching Leander, if you want to talk briefly about the offense and defense?
Well, I think what we've learned from the offense is that the new system is working. Obviously, you know, what we've heard over the podcast over this last week was, you know, they've definitely got some room for growth in the play calling in that area. Basically, they've taken on an offense very similar to the Army-Navy offense, the Veer offense. This is more of a modified version. You know, it's been very healthy for them. They've been consistent. They've been able to maintain some field possession. So offensively, you know, I just want to continue to see them grow in that area. With plays, and you know, as these guys get more familiar with the offense, as they've also switched to it also for the first time, you know, expect them to get better at it. Tonight's going to be a big test for their offense. Stony Point's got a pretty good defense that's going to come in here, and they're used to stopping the run every day in practice. So,
and their offense has been going so far this year. They come in 2-0 with wins against Killeen 21-14 and Harker Heights 45-22.
Yeah, and in the game they played last week, they scored 38 or 30. I think it was 38 points. I think in a row. after they were trailing in the first half. So down by 16. So they can definitely, and that was all done on the ground. I think they had one touchdown in that 45-22 victory over Harker Heights. Defensively, I think the linebackers are going to get a heavy dose of run today. So tackling's going to be a big deal today.
Well, we are about ready for kickoff. Number 37, Ross Hines, is kicking it deep to Addison LaRue, who fields it about the 8-yard line on the left sideline. Turns upfield and gets tackled about the 20-yard line.
LaRue
and jumps back up. I guess he didn't go all the way down and gets up to about the 27-yard line. Leander is wearing blue tops and gray bottoms, and Stony Point is wearing white tops and dark bottoms. And number 20, Cobe Sterling, was on the tackle. So Leander will start out going left to right as you're listening on the broadcast, and if you watch later on the video, going left to right. And right now the rain is holding off, but we may get some during the game. So as we get ready for the first play, Rashad Carter under center. And it is an option to the left. He cuts upfield, has a seam, and gets about 8.5 yards on that. Matthew McDaniel is out there to get the pitch, but is able to tuck the ball and turn it up and get, they'll count it as 9 yards. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 1 on the Leander 37-yard line. Good start. On the tackle, number 41, Chase Coots, and number 3, Dario Rodriguez. So Rashad Carter now gets back under center. One receiver left, one receiver right. LaRue in motion, and Carter goes back to pass, looks around. He's getting pressured from the backside and throws it out of bounds. No flag on the play as he threw it out of bounds. It may have been a little bit behind the line of scrimmage. And on the pressure, there is a flag down now. Now the flag does come out. Number 45, Justin Tucker, was putting the pressure on Rashad Carter. So it looks like they may be calling intentional grounding on this, and they're walking it off.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 5. Penalty is spotted the foul, loss of down, 2nd down, 3rd down.
So with that penalty, it marches the ball back to the 26-yard line, and Leander will now have a 3rd and 12 from the 26.
And everybody's breaking out their umbrellas, so it looks like we're getting a little mist out there right now.
So Carter is back under center. Wide receivers are in tight. Matthew McDaniel goes in motion, and the veer play.
Another flag on the play.
Yep, they give the ball to Xavier Dotson, gets a couple yards, but a flag is down at the line of scrimmage. Number 9, Cameron Williams, is on the tackle. And while we're going through that, let's read off our starting offense. Quarterback, Rashad Carter. Running backs, Addison LaRue and Matthew McDaniel. Also in receiver, Ismael Sanchez. And number 88, Keon Leonard, and also number 21, Xavier Dotson as well at running back. The line is now with number 55, Riley Wells, number 56, Eric Locust, number 74, Mattia Carter, number 72, Noah Holyfield, and number 76 as well. And now Leander is getting ready to punt from their 28-yard line. 4th and 10. Snap is back. Eli Gaiman's rolling out to the right, kicks it down the right sideline, and it has a nice roll about 10 yards inside, and it is picked up by number 5, Tyler O'Bannon. He's able to break a couple tackles, and he's get up to about the 28-yard line. On the tackle, number 48, Ben Hoff, and number 25, Wesley Weingart.
Stony Point football with 10:48 left in the first.
Yeah, this offense really needed to get off to a good start. This Stony Point Tigers, they'll wear you down.
So now Stony Point comes out, has twin receivers out to the left side, single receiver out to the right. The quarterback is back with 2 running backs in front of him, and it is a handoff off the right side to number 4, and he has a seam around the right side. He gets up past the first down. That was to Tyler Cleveland.
Number 4, Tyler Cleveland with
Henry Birmingham, Ray Egglesey, and A.J. Nelson on the tackle, but he has enough around the right side for a first down that'll give Stony Point Tigers 1st and 10 on their 39-yard line, going right to left as you're listening to the broadcast. So twin receivers down on this side of the field, on the left side of the field. Handoff up the middle to number 4 again, Tyler Cleveland. He breaks outside. He's got a seam down the right side, and it looks like he will have enough to go in for a touchdown. On the second play of the game, he's able to go up the middle, cut to the outside, and runs down the sideline for the first score of the game, and that will put the Tigers up 6-0 with 10:24 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, the defense got manhandled on that play. There was holes all over.
So Stony Point will now go for the PAT. Snap is back and the kick is up, and it is good.
Yeah, this Leander defensive line, they've had some substitutions come in with some injuries, so they've got some sophomores, some younger guys on the defensive line who have done a pretty good job up to this point going against Weiss and Pflugerville. Of course, Pflugerville, you know, always comes with a pretty big offensive line. However, the running game on Stony Point is much better than Pflugerville's, if you can imagine that, and they're going to continue to get a heavy dose. So if they can't get off these blocks and cover these gaps, then they're going to have a long night.
Yeah, so we'll be back right after the break
Special thanks to
for the kickoff.
For supporting Leander ISD.
Hey, Leander Lions of all ages, listen up. The 14th annual Leander High Craft Market is just around the corner. That's right, Saturday, November 17th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Leander High School, 3301 South Baghdad Road in Leander. Featuring more than 200 vendor booths offering food, crafts, homemade goodies, artisan creations, artist holiday creations, and much, much more. And it's indoors, so it will happen rain or shine. Vendors, get your application and information packet along with a printable craft fair market flyer at leanderbaseball.com. So mark it down, Saturday, November 17th, 2018, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Leander High School.
And we are back for the kickoff. It is kicked down to number 34, Addison LaRue, who returns it up to the 22-yard line. So that'll give Leander a 1st and 10 on their 22-yard line. So we saw a couple glimpses of good offensive execution from Leander that first series, but the penalties, pushed them back behind the chains, and they couldn't get out from under that.
Yeah, they've struggled with that over the past few years, and it's been detrimental to them. You'd like to see them maybe first series jitters, so hopefully they break through that and get a positive yardage here on this drive.
So here's the first play on the second series. Handoff to Xavier Dotson. Gets about 3 yards on that. And that's part of the new offensive play that we see that we talked about earlier, kind of a modified veer, where they look at Dotson up the middle first, and if that's not there, then they'll go to the outside, and Carter will either keep it or pitch it to LaRue or to Matthew McDaniel. So here we come out, twin receivers up on the far sideline. It is a pitch out to the right side to Xavier Dotson. He gets outside and he's tripped up, but he has enough for a first down. He gets out to about the 34.5-yard line, but that'll give them enough for a first down. Leader's first down of the game.
That was number 3, Dario Rodriguez, on the tackle there for Stony Point.
So that's a nice play right there. Use Dotson's speed to the outside. Rashad Carter now gets out, walks up under center. One receiver left, one receiver right in their standard formation. 2 wings on the right. McDaniel goes in motion, and the handoff to Dotson up the middle gets about 2 on that play. Number 32, Tim Landry, and number 41, Chase Coots for the tackle. Leander now on the right hash. Twin receivers on the right, looking at 2nd and 8 on the 37-yard line. Carter under center and a little bit of movement in the backfield Looks like we'll have a false start, and they'll move them back 5 yards.
Yeah, Dotson rocked forward on that play, and it was pretty obvious they were going to call that.
21.
Once again, behind the chains.
That'll bring up a second and about 13 for Leander. When they break out of the huddle, have about 8 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first quarter. And I'm looking at the new scoreboard and the new vision, the screen up there. It's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty clear.
We haven't had a chance to really talk about that much this season. Rashad Carter gets the snap, hands it off to Dotson on the left side. He has the seam, gets up past the 41, maybe the 42-yard line.
Yeah, looks like he maybe got a yard more on that. But
So they'll mark it at the 41-yard line. That'll bring up a 3rd and 4 for Leander. This is a big play for Leander. They need to keep this drive going and get another first down here and march down the field.
Look for a big play from Rashad here on this.
LaRue in motion, and it is a handoff, and Carter takes it. He keeps it, and he gets maybe a yard. Gets to the 42-yard line. That'll bring up a 4th and 3, and we'll see what Leander does here if they decide to go for it. Looks like they're going to get on the ball. Carter under
I
center.
think they're probably going to try to draw him off sides.
And we have
Timeout.
stop and play and a timeout, Stony Point. So with 7:51 left in the first quarter, the Tigers are up 7-0, but Leander is looking at a 4th and 3 right in here. What would you do if you're the coach on this
I
play?
think you try to draw the offsides. If that doesn't work, obviously with them taking the timeout, they know it's coming. They've been able to warn their players to stay on sides. You give it a shot anyway. If not, if you have a great play drawn up, it's not necessarily 4th down territory here, but we'll see what Coach Tim Smith has drawn up.
Yeah, we'll see if they try and get some of the speed to the outside. If they can catch them off guard, they may look at what defense they're running and have a couple options on the, when Carter gets up under center. We've seen a little bit of success up the middle and a little bit of success on the outside. We haven't seen a pass yet. May see some type of play action as well. So they are lining up to go for it. Twins left. Carter under center. And here we go, 4th and 3 on the 42-yard line.
Yeah, and they're loading the box.
And Carter takes around the right side, and he has stood up at the about 2 yards short of the first down. Looks like he stumbled a little bit out of the gate once he got the ball, got the snap, went out to the right side looking for the option, but it was good defense on that play. They had everything covered, and they stood him up, and that'll give Stony Point a 1st and 10 on the Leander 43-yard line.
Yeah, once he stumbled, it looks like he maybe lost his train of thought there for a second. He didn't get his eyes back up. Stony LaRue was open on the outside. He couldn't take advantage of that. He probably would have ran for more than a first down on that.
You mean Addison LaRue?
Addison LaRue. I did it again. once a game, I'm going to do that.
Be nice to see Stony LaRue running around out here. Handoff up the middle to number 4, Tyler Cleveland. Number 44, Evan Smith, and number 52, Matthew Nakama on the tackle. And he's been basically the offense so far, handing off to Tyler Cleveland. That's his 3rd carry, and his 2nd carry went for a long touchdown.
Yeah, Cleveland gave a heavy dose to Harker Heights last week.
So Stony Point now has a 2nd and 5. Pistol formation, trips right, and number 16, Kyle Overton, rolling out to the right side, passes across, and it is caught by number 10, Andre Woods. Close to the first down. Let's see where they mark it. Tackled by number 10, Henry Birmingham. And number 58 as well, Dyron Dixon. So it looks like they are going to move the chains. They'll give him enough for a first down. So that'll give Stony Point a 1st and 10 on Leander's 33-yard line.
Yeah, and this game's going to get a little bit more interesting as this heavy rain's about to roll through.
Yeah, we can see it coming this way. So once again, Overton back in the pistol formation have 3 receivers on the right side, 1 receiver on the left side, and it is a rollout to the right and a pitch over to the right side to number 14, Quaylen Lomax, who goes down about the 23-yard line, but we do have a flag thrown down at the 18-yard line. We'll see what they call. We also have an injured player down on the ground. Number 16, Ray Egglesey on the tackle. So with this break, let's get a word for our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club would like to send a special shout out to its platinum sponsors. First, James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage. Contact James and get $5,000 towards closing costs. That's James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage at hendersonlending.com. Also, Big Swig Water. Big Swig balances thirst-quenching bubbles and fresh flavor for a crushable beverage enjoyed any time of day. The can is bold, but the bubbles are refreshing, not overwhelming. It's perfect for hydrating during a weekend at Zilker Park, a weekday lunch, a night out, and everything in between. Anywhere around Austin, Big Swig sparkling water brings a bubbly zip and burst of flavor, delivering Texas-sized refreshment. Crack one open.
So we had
Thank you, Platinum.
We had a penalty that was against Stony Point. They'll give them a 1st and 10 after they mark it off back at the 37-yard line. In the first play, run off to the right side, and Leander was there ready to make the tackle, and about 4 or 5 stuffed run over there on the right side. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, big hit by Matthew Nkama. He laid the wood on him, and everybody else followed through.
So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. Kyle Overton still back at quarterback right now. Twin receivers left, man in motion coming across. Fake jet sweep, and he keeps it. Kendall Thomas keeps it around the left side. He gets a couple blocks. He's down to the 15, the 10, and he gets – let's see if they mark him out of bounds at the 3-yard line.
And this may be coming back. The flag was thrown in the area of a holding call, so we'll hear what the ref has to say.
Ray Egglesey was able to knock him out of bounds short of the end zone, but there is a flag down at the 34-yard line on the far sideline. And that will be a penalty against Stony Point. So Leander gets a break right there. And that may be a big play here tonight because that was a run, Kendall Thomas, kind of a designed run, a fake jet sweep. He broke up the middle, then ran down the left sideline, almost untouched till about the 3-yard line. So a 5-yard penalty will push them back to the 38-yard line, and Stony Point will have a 2nd and about 15 with about 5.5 minutes left here in the first quarter.
And as the rain starts to fall, could be a game changer.
So Kyle Overton back at quarterback. 3 receivers out to the right side as well as a wing and the running back offset to the right side. Overton back to pass, swings it out to the right side. Caught the line of scrimmage by number 14, Quaylen Lomax. He gets about 7 yards, and he gets pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line.
Yeah,
Number Dimitri Drayton and Kayvon Spence teamed up to knock him out of bounds. This will bring up a 3rd and 8. So 3 receivers to the left side now as Kyle Overton is looking for the snap. He gets it, looks downfield, lots of time, and throws it over the middle to number 10, Andre Woods, but it is incomplete. But there is a flag down as well on the 32-yard line on the near side. But it looks like they will call a penalty against Stony Point. I believe it may be a legal man downfield. And we're seeing what Tim Smith does here. He'll go ahead and decline it. That'll bring up a 4th down. So it'll be 4th and 8 on the 33-yard line. Stony Point offense still out on the field, looking over to the sideline to get the play. And they are getting up on line of scrimmage. Trips on the far side of the field. Single receiver way out here on the left side. Overton looking for the snap. He gets it. He drops it. It's on the ground. There's a scramble for it. And I think Stony Point was able to recover, but that'll give the Leander Lions a 1st and 10 on about the 40-yard line. Big break for Leander right there with the penalty keeping Stony Point out of the end zone or close to it on the 3-yard line, and now they recover their 1st and 10 on the 39-yard line.
Well, as I mentioned before, the rain going to be a factor here, and it is because you've seen a fumble come off the quarterback's hand. He couldn't quite get a hold of it. And either way, it was either that or the snap, and it was rain.
So Carter under center back in the standard formation for Leander. Matthew McDaniel goes in motion. Handoff to Dotson. Is able to juke and jive and gets about 2 yards on that with the dive at the end. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 8 for Leander. We have 5 minutes left here in the first quarter. And, yeah, we see a lot of umbrellas out and some rain starting to come, but we see some bad stuff off in the distance.
Yeah, it looks like we missed a pretty good-sized sail there.
So Carter back under center. Single receiver each side. Matthew McDaniel in motion. Carter, fake handoff. He goes down the line, and he is stuffed. Immediately tackled behind the line of scrimmage by number 45, Justin Tucker. He jumped across the line and was basically standing there as Carter went down the line and ran right into him.
Yeah, they got a big 3rd down here. You'd like to see them get a 1st down and continue this drive, give this defense a rest.
So 4:20 left in the first quarter. Carter under center, single receiver on each side. Matthew McDaniel in motion. Carter, fake handoff, looks back to pass, rolls out to the right side. Lots of pressure, and he is tackled down at the 28-yard line by number 9, Cameron Williams. Had a lot of pressure from the defense on Carter. He was unable to set his feet and look for anyone downfield, and he was tackled way back behind the line of scrimmage, so that'll bring up a 4th and about 19, I guess, on their own 27-yard line, and Eli Gaiman comes in to punt.
Yeah, he didn't have the wherewithal on that play to get rid of it. He rolled outside of the tackle. I don't know if he didn't think he was that close or he thought he was going to outrun him, but he definitely should have got rid of that ball.
Yeah, Tyler O'Bannon is back for the Tigers, so Gaiman gets a punt. It is up, and it hits about the 42-yard line. A bounce. It is caught on the bounce by number 5, Tyler O'Bannon, and they stop the play. He's looking around, basically saying, I didn't call a fair catch, but they are stopping where he picked up the ball, and they're putting it at the 34-yard line. I didn't see a hand go up.
Yeah, I didn't either. I don't know if him adjusting to the ball, maybe he did wave. I don't know.
Anyway, that'll give Stony Point Tigers 1st and 10 on their 34-yard line, going right to left as you're listening. Trips receivers on the near sideline, single receiver on the far sideline, man in motion going across in front of Overton. And it is a handoff up the middle to number 17, who bounces around, spins around, and gets tackled after a gain of about 4 yards. That was Kendall Thomas with the carry. Ray Egglesey, Henry Birmingham, and A.J. Nelson came up to make the tackle. So Stony Point now has the ball on their 38-yard line. 2:55 left in the first quarter, looking at 2nd and about 6. Trips receivers on the left. Man comes in motion, goes back outside. Overton, and there is a flag down on the field. It'll be a false start on the offense, so we'll march them back 5.
Yeah, it looks like Leander's getting a little help here.
Yeah, a little sloppy on both sides of both teams here on offense. Seen a lot of penalties here early on in this game.
Yeah, I definitely think Leander's defense is up for the task. They run 3 up front on the defense, and they've been able to penetrate somewhat, getting through the double teams. So we'll see how this goes as the game goes on.
Overton looks over the offense, trips receivers on the near side. Running back offset to his right, and Overton's back to pass, looking downfield, throws it deep down the middle. Pass attempt to number 2, Daylon Loden, but it is incomplete. Good coverage there by number 16, Ray Egglesey, running right with him all the way down the field, and the ball was overthrown. Incomplete pass that'll bring up a 3rd down and about 11 for the Tigers. There is a flag down on the field, but it looks like he is picking it up. So the officials are getting everything set right now. They are flipping the stick over to 3rd down. So Stony Point here with 2.5 left in the first quarter. Twin receivers to the left, single receiver to the right. Overton looking over, making the call.
Oh, we got Looks like we got a false start on number 83.
Yeah,
there
looks like
they finally called it.
Delayed flag there, but yeah, number 83 moved a little bit when he was in the 2-point stance, and they are going to mark it back another 5 yards.
Looks like he his cadence drew his own guy offsides.
Yeah, I think they were trying to pick up a cheap 5 yards right there and caught their own team, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 16 here for Stony Point.
Good discipline by the defense.
On their 23-yard line. Overton gets the snap, handoff to number 17, Kendall Thomas up the middle. Short gain on the play.
Yeah, that tackle was Connor Cracy, and looks like number 44, Evan Smith on the tackle. Of course, the initial hit was by number 32, Kevin Spence.
So that'll bring up a 4th down. Good defensive stand by Leander. About 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Once again, the quarterback fumbled the ball, and now the punter had some trouble.
And the punt is off to the left side, bounces around the 35-yard line, and they catch it about the 38 by number 3, Dario Rodriguez. And Leander will have a 1st and 10 on their 38-yard line, and we'll be right back after the break.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club would like to recognize its sponsors: Bush's Chicken, Wingstop, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Farmers Insurance, the McCoy Agency, James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage. Contact James and get $5,000 towards closing costs. Amy Maddox with Allstate. You're in good hands. Stephanie Biggs with Blue Door Realty Group. Mighty Fine Burgers.
So we're back here after the break, and a handoff up the middle to Xavier Dotson. He stood up at the line of scrimmage by number 94, Jared Ontiveros.
Looks like he's going to have to come off. He lost his helmet.
So number 11, Anthony Thornburg, heads in to the huddle. So Leander is looking at a 2nd and 10 on their 38-yard line. About a minute 30 left, clock running in the first quarter.
Looks like that's David Cruz. I think the
Oh, I'm sorry, David Cruz. Yes. So it's a pitch off to the right side, and he is tackled. David Cruz is tackled after about a 1-yard gain, so that'll bring up a 3rd and 9 for Leander.
And he stays in.
So about a minute left here in the first quarter. Leander is trailing 7-0 to Stony Point Tigers. 3rd and 9 from the 39 from Leander's 39-yard line. Need a 1st down here. Leander comes out in their standard formation, 1 receiver on each side, 2 wings, and McDaniel goes in motion. Carter around to the left side, pitch to McDaniel around the left side, and he gets close to the 1st down, but it looks like he'll be a little bit short. Let's see where they mark it. They mark it about 2 yards short of the 1st down. He gets to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Kobe Sterling, number 20, probably saved the touchdown on that play.
So Leander gets back up on the line. Rashad Carter under center. 4th and 2. LaRue in motion goes back over to the left wing. And Carter, with a good push from the offensive line, he gets enough with the quarterback dive to get a 1st down. Got about 3 yards on that. Great push by the offensive line.
Yeah, it's just what you want to see, some little bit of consistency. They're picking up their 1st downs. Expect Leander to keep rolling.
So David Cruz heads over to the sideline, and Xavier Dotson heads back in. Leander will have a 1st and 10 on their 40-yard line. See if they want to run one more play before the quarter. About 18 seconds left. Looks like they may let this run out. Don't know if they'll have enough time to get up to the line and get this off. Carter's hurrying into the huddle.
Going to be cutting it close.
5 seconds left. Carter gets up under center. Everyone's set, and that's the end of the first quarter. With the Tigers leading 7-0, but Leander is driving down the field. They will have a 1st and 10 on their 49-yard line. We'll be back for the second quarter of play.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club would like to recognize its sponsors: Bush's Chicken, Wingstop, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Farmers Insurance, the McCoy Agency, James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage. Contact James and get $5,000 towards closing costs. Amy Maddox with Allstate. You're in good hands. Stephanie Biggs with Blue Door Realty Group. Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes. Randy Hoff with Lexus of Austin. Dana Kerr Photography. Earl and Janice Lott. Milo Aquatics, Pool Service and Remodels, and Big Swig Water. Thanks to all of the Leander Lion Football Booster Club sponsors. We appreciate your generosity. Go Lions!
Well, we are back here.
There we go.
And we're having a little bit of confusion here as to what the referees were doing out here. It looks like they marked off a 5-yard penalty against Leander. Then they put it back up on the 49-yard line. And it looks like there's...
I think they're still confused of what's going on here.
So now the teams are walking back over to the sideline.
He had time on the play clock before the time went out for the first quarter. So
Tim Smith is out trying to get some type of clarification out there, and we'll try and pass it along if we get it. A lot of confusion. We have one showing on the clock on the scoreboard. So it's unclear if they actually have 1 second left in the first quarter. They did not flip the field. So it looks like Leander may be coming out with 1 second left in the first quarter, but we'll see what happens here.
Okay, now they've taken a timeout off of Leander, so Leander called the timeout.
Okay, so now they've officially called a timeout. Looks like 1 second left. Leander still first and 10 on their 40-yard line. 1 second left in the first quarter. They were trying to get a play off, and maybe Tim Smith or someone from the sideline called timeout right before the clock ran out. So here we go. Rashad Carter under center. McDaniel in motion, and it is a keep by Carter. Gets around the right side, cuts off tackle, gets about 5 yards, maybe 6. And now that's the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it was a good play by Matthew McDaniel, lead block on that. It was a good first down.
So now that we're at the end of the first quarter, we'll be right back. We'll have a break here and play our sponsors for you.
Hey, Leander Lions of all ages, listen up. The 14th annual Leander High Craft Market is just around the corner. That's right, Saturday, November 17th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Leander High School, 3301 South Baghdad Road in Leander. Featuring more than 200 vendor booths offering food, crafts, homemade goodies, artisan creations, artist holiday creations, and much, much more. And it's indoors, so it will happen rain or shine. Vendors, get your application and information packet along with a printable craft fair market flyer at leanderbaseball.com. So mark it down, Saturday, November 17th, 2018, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Leander High School, the Leander High Craft Market. You don't want to miss it. The Leander High Craft Market is a production of...
So we are back here for the start of the second quarter. Receivers are in tight, and a handoff off the right side to Dotson. Bulls ahead for about 2 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 2 for Leander on the Stony Point 43-yard line.
And once again, he loses his helmet.
Yeah, it's the second time it's popped off. So number 11, David Cruz, into the game. This will bring up a 3rd and short for Leander. The wide receivers spread out on each side. Carter under center. LaRue in motion, and it is a draw up the middle, and it looks like the ball may have gone on the ground, and it did, and Stony Point is able to recover on their 43-yard line, fumble on the exchange, and a turnover. Stony Point will now take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, it looks like the linebacker, number 44, Jake Chambers, came up with the ball.
Yeah, tough break for Leander right there. They were able to drive down the field and have a little bit of momentum here, and then now a turnover almost at midfield. So Stony Point now runs back out onto the field going left to right as you're listening. Twin receivers on the left, single receiver on the near side. Overton is still in at quarterback. 2 running backs just in front of him on each side. And it is a keep on the right side, and there's a seam. He gets tripped up at right about the first down marker, but there's a flag on the field at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, and that was A.J. Nelson on the tackle.
So we'll have a hold against Stony Point, and they'll mark that off.
Looks like it's going to be another penalty against Stony Point.
So they'll now place the ball at the 36-yard line on the near hash.
Looks like both teams getting off to a pretty sloppy.
It is. It's been a lot of
First
penalties
half.
on each side, both sides on the offense. So Stony Point is looking at a first and about 19 on their 36-yard line, near hash. Overton gets the snap, almost drops it, looks downfield, throws it downfield to number 2, Dalen Loden, and he gets tackled at the 48-yard line, but a flag comes down. Looks like we may have another penalty. This one should be on Leander.
Yeah, looks like a horse collar.
So the officials are talking out there.
Albeit it was unintentional, because the runner turned at the time he was going for the tackle, and just so happened his hand went to his collar.
So let's see what they call here.
Foul. Horse collar tackle. Yeah, 15. Automatic first down.
So we'll have the personal foul. They'll mark off the yardage, 15 yards as they move down into Leander territory. They'll put the ball down at the 37-yard line on the near hash. So that'll give Stony Point a first down with about 10:48 left here in the first quarter. Stony Point comes out, twin receivers left, single receiver right. Overton gets the snap, hands the ball up the middle to number 4, Tyler Cleveland, and he gets down about 5 yards.
Spun down by Wakama. Also
Number
there for
32,
58 Dixon, and number 90 Connor Tracy.
Kayvon Spence on the tackle. So Stony Point will now have a 2nd and 5 on the Leander 32-yard line.
Well, just looking at a lot of the local area scores, it looks like a lot of 0-0s and 7-0s all around town. Looks like this rain has affected a lot of people.
So man goes in motion for Stony Point. Overton looking over the defense. And it is a handoff off the left side to number 4. Again, Tyler Cleveland. He gets hit. He's able to spin and get enough for a first down as they move the chains. He got just enough for the first down. Let's see. They're marking it. Maybe no, they are moving the chains. So that'll give Stony Point a 1st and 10 on the Leander 27-yard line. And the last tackle was made by number 52, Matthew Nakama. Overton gets the snap, goes back to pass, rolls out to the right side. A little bit of pressure from Leander. Flag goes down, and the ball is thrown into the end zone. The receiver turns around. It is incomplete. It is knocked down. But there is a flag as well in the end zone. Xavier Terry, number 3, on the defensive coverage there in the end zone. He was able to put his hand on the ball. There may have been a little bit of contact, but we have a flag behind the line and a flag in the end zone.
Yeah, it looks like he slipped on the letter out there in the end zone and inadvertently touched the receiver at the same time, trying to gain his balance. So we'll see if they call that and what the other flag is.
So flag is still down at the 36-yard line behind the players. Looks like they're going to pick that one up. They're going to offset both of those penalties. They'll offset each other, so it'll be 1st and 10 once again at the 27-yard line of Leander.
There you go. Redo for everybody.
There we go. Twin receivers right, single receiver left. Man in motion comes across, and it is a jet sweep off the left side to number 14. He's able to bounce around to the outside and gets out about 8 yards. That was a carry by number 16, Quaylen Lomax. And Ray Egglesey was able to come up and make the tackle, but he got about 7 on that play. That'll bring up a 2nd and, let's say 2nd and 4 here from the 21-yard line. Twin receivers to the right side. of Stony Point. Overton looking for the snap, and he gets it. And it is a handoff up the middle to number 17, Kendall Thomas. Able to get a couple yards on the play, but short of the first down.
Yeah, looks like that was sophomore Dyron Dixon on the tackle, followed up with Connor Cracy.
So after that tackle, Stony Point is looking at a 3rd and 2 from the Leander 19-yard line.
So that's two of the sophomore defensive linemen that I was mentioning earlier that have came in and filled in for the seniors that have done a great job.
Looks like the quarterback is out, and Tyler Cleveland is back getting ready for the snap. Oh, and we have a lot of movement once again. See if they call it on the offense here. Saw a guard and a couple other people kind of move before the snap, and they are going to mark it off against Stony Point.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. It looked like Henry Birmingham from Leander jumped, but looked like I guess he was drawn offsides. Another big break for Leander, making it a little bit more difficult for Stony Point to get this 3rd down conversion.
Yep, 3rd and 7 for Stony Point as they look to get the snap here. Trips receivers on the right side, single receiver on the left, and it is a direct snap to number 17 around the left side. A designed run, and it looks like he may have enough for a first down. That was Kendall Thomas.
Looks like that was a block below the waist, which I thought they were calling that this year. I guess it's the second time Leander has not had that call on the other side.
So Kendall Thomas on the Wildcat got a little bit short of the first down. It'll be 4th and less than 1 here for Stony Point Tigers. Gets a snap, it's dropped, and he falls down, and that'll give Leander a first down on their 25-yard line. Snap was back, he dropped it, then slipped and fell, and fell down onto the ground with the ball, so Leander gets a break there.
Yeah, once again, it's been an ugly second quarter as well.
Well, great news for the Leander Lions. They were able to hold on that defensive stand. Let's see if when the offense comes out, if they can get something going. They've been able to move a little bit on offense, but then those penalties seem to just keep driving them back, and they can't get that first down.
Yeah, it looks like the one who makes the least amount of mistakes might win this game.
So Carter gets back under center on their 25-yard line, 1st and 10. Leander going right to left, and Carter off to the left side looking to pitch, and he pitches it out on the left side to McDaniel, and he gets about 2 yards on that play, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 8, about 7:35 left in the first half. Yeah, that was a slow developing play right there. Good idea, but there's a lot of defenders out there, and Carter was able to pitch it at the last second, and McDaniel was able to pick up a yard and a half, so looks like they'll be about 2nd and 8 here for Leander. LaRue in motion along the backside. Carter spins, goes around the right side off tackle, breaks out, cuts back in, and gets about 2 to 3 yards on that play. Number 9 on the tackle, that is Cameron Williams. So Leander will be looking at a 3rd and about 6 here on their side of the field. The ball's almost at the right hash. So Carter gets a play, gets back into the huddle.
See what Leander's got drawn up here for this
Yeah,
long 3rd and 6.
3rd and 6 on their 29. And it is a pass. Carter goes back, gets scrambled, lots of pressure, throws it out to the left side. Pass was attempted to be thrown to Ismael Sanchez, but Carter had a lot of pressure back there, wasn't able to get the pass out with enough time, and that'll bring up a 4th down for Leander.
Yeah, once again, it seems like this offense is just getting off the ball a little slow. Not just the linemen, but the backs as well.
So 4th and 7 for Leander. Eli Gaiman is back to punt for Leander and back deep about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, Gaiman's had some pretty good kicks thus far in this game. See what he can do here.
Back for Stony Point is number 5, Tyler O'Bannon. So now a flag comes out. Looks like we may have delay of game against So So another penalty. Looks like we probably have more penalty yards than offensive yards here in the second quarter.
Eli Gaiman to kick for the Lions.
So the line gets back up on the ball. And the punt is back. It's high. Gaiman rolls out to the right, kicks it down the right sideline, hits about the 48-yard line, and they will down it down about the 49-yard line. That was number 16, Ray Egglesey, to stop the ball. So 6:18 left in the second quarter. Stony Point up 7-0. We'll be right back after the break.
Listen up, all Lion fans. The Leander Lions Football Booster Club would like to recognize its sponsors: Bush's Chicken, Wingstop, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Farmers Insurance, the McCoy Agency, James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage. Contact James and get $5,000 towards closing costs. Amy Maddox with Allstate. You're in good hands. Stephanie Biggs.
Kyle Overton with the snap, looks downfield, throws it deep down the right sideline to number 2, and it is tipped and incomplete. Great coverage there by number 3, Xavier Terry. Looks like it may have hit number 2, Dalen Loden, in the hands, but Terry was there on the defensive play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was a great play by Leander defense. Yeah, you can see kind of going in offensively on both sides of the ball where they've made enough mistakes where they're actually all a little bit apprehensive and not so quite dialed in. So maybe he who dials it in a little bit easier and faster may gain some progress in this game.
2nd and 10, and it is a jet sweep around the left sideline, and it gets pushed out of bounds with a short gain, about 3 yards, and another flag is down at the 37-yard line. This is getting really messy.
Yeah.
We'll see what they call here.
There is a flag on the field.
They are going to call a personal foul face mask against Leander. Tough break right there. You know, we're looking at, a 3rd and 7, and now we're looking at a 1st and 10 for Stony Point. So they, after the penalty yardage, they put it at the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for Stony Point, 6:03 left in the second quarter. Overton with the handoff. No, he keeps it off the right side, and he picks up about 7 yards on the carry.
That was a great fake.
Number 52, Matthew Nakama on the tackle. So now Stony Point is looking at they're going to mark it 2nd and 5 on the 27-yard line. About 5.5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Twin receivers right, single receiver left. Overton with the handoff off the right side to number 4, Tyler Cleveland.
On the carry.
He gets close to the first down. Let's see where they mark it. Maybe a little short.
Number 44, Evan Smith on the stop.
Number 44, Evan Smith.
3rd and 1.
And number 32, Kayvon Spence as well on the tackle. So it'll bring up a short 3rd and 1 for Stony Point on the Leander 24-yard line. Kyle Overton back. Running back offset to his left side. Twin receivers to the right. The snap is back, and it is a handoff up the middle, enough for a 1st down to number 4, Tyler Cleveland. Gets about 6 yards on that carry, so that'll move the chains, and they will set up on the 21-yard line, 1st and 10 for Stony Point. 4:50 left in the second quarter. Sorry.
Yeah, looks like we've dodged a lot of rain by sitting up here. We've seen several clouds go by, so far it's been pretty good for this ball game.
So it looks like we have twin receivers on each side. Kyle Overton back in the pistol formation. And he takes it along the right side, and he pitches out to the right. Good pursuit by Leander, but he's able to slip a couple tackles and gets about 7 yards on that carry.
Tackled by Wakama and
Number 7,
Dimitri Drayton.
Drayton on the tackle.
Yeah, it looks like the defender dropped his head a little bit and the runner ran right past him. Seen that a few times in the last couple games where the defenders have done that, and you got to keep your eyes up.
So trips receivers on the left side, 2nd and 3. And it is a handoff off the left side, and he's able to get outside. He cuts back inside, and he'll be close to the first down.
Thomas on the carry. Stopped shy of the first down.
Yeah, it looked like you had Dimitri Drayton and
A.J. Nelson on the tackle. So it'll bring up a 3rd and short, a little bit less than a yard here for Stony Point as they are on the Leander 12-yard line. 3 minutes and 27 seconds left here in the second quarter. So Overton's looking over to the sideline to get the play. Twin receivers to the right. Single receiver to the left. Man comes in motion, and it is a keep off the right side by Overton. He gets a good block by number 2, and he goes in for a touchdown.
Overton on the keeper.
Yeah, he kept that ball, ran off to the right side, didn't have a lot of defensive pursuit. One defender out there, but the receiver got a good block. He was able to just almost stroll into the right corner of the end zone.
Yeah, Leander loaded down the line of scrimmage and expecting that ball to go up the middle, and he just scooted on the outside pretty easy.
So here for the extra point. Snap is back, and it looks like it was either blocked or low. It hits the lower part of the crossbar, and it is not good. So Stony Point takes a 13-0 lead here in the second quarter with 2:57 left in the first half. Yeah, tough break there for Leander, basically giving them a short field. They were able to move down, drive down, and they were able to put in the second touchdown of the game. So have about 3 minutes left here in the first half for Leander, and we will be right back after this break.
Hit some scores when we come back.
Hey, Leander Lions of all ages, listen up. The 14th annual Leander High Craft Market is just around the corner. That's right, Saturday, November 17th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Leander High School, 3301 South Baghdad Road in Leander. Featuring more than 200 vendor booths offering food, crafts, homemade goodies, artisan creations, artist holiday creations, and much, much more. And it's indoors, so it will happen rain or shine. Vendors, get your application and information packet along with a printable craft fair market flyer at leanderbaseball.com. So mark it down, Saturday, November 17th, 2018, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Leander High School, the Leander High Craft Market. You don't want to miss it.
And the kickoff is off. LaRue picks it up about the 10-yard line, off to the right side, has a little bit of room, gets out to about the 30-yard line. So Leander will start here, 2:47 left in the second quarter on their 30-yard line, looking to get a score before half.
Yeah, what you'd like to see here is that consistency that I mention quite often. You want to see that on this drive and let them march down the field in this 2 minute and 47 seconds and see if they can't get a touchdown before the halftime.
Leander needs to get a big play here. They need to get a lot of yardage here. They've been able to move the ball, but it's been slow. No game-breaking plays yet. We'll see if we can get one here in the second quarter. Carter comes around the near side, pitch out to McDaniel, cuts back inside and gets back out and gets pushed out of bounds. They'll give him about 7 yards on that carry. Ball goes out of bounds at the 37-yard line.
Yeah, it looks like that was number 3, Eddie Garcia, on the tackle.
So clock stopped at 2:38. Leander looking at a 2nd and 7 on their 37-yard line.
Or Dario Rodriguez, sorry. There's 2 number 3s on the roster.
Twin receivers on the right. Carter under center. Barks out the signals to both sides. LaRue goes in motion. And it is a handoff up the middle to Xavier Dotson. Gets about 4 yards, enough for the first down, and they will move the chains. Leander will set up 1st and 10 on their 41-yard line, 2:35. Clock temporarily stopped right now.
Yeah, and that's one thing this offense is designed to do is just continue to pick up 3-4 yards, and make a easy 3rd down, 2nd down conversion.
Carter gets the snap, cuts up field, looks outside, darts back inside, gets out, and they will keep the – and there's a flag right there. His helmet comes off. Looks like there may be a personal foul or a face mask.
Yeah, it looks like personal foul. He went right after his head.
Flag was down at the 47-yard line of Leander. They will call a personal foul face mask against the Stony Point Tigers, and that's a big break for Leander right now. So they move the ball 15 yards down the field, and Leander will set up on the Stony Point 38-yard line near hash, going right to left as you're listening.
Yeah, that was a good gift for Leander. Hopefully they can take advantage of it and keep driving the ball forward.
Clock starts with 2:10 in running. Twin receivers left. Carter under center. LaRue in motion across the backfield, and
Got a penalty flag.
looks
down.
like another flag is down.
Yeah, as I mentioned, you know, one step forward, 2 steps back, and it's been killing this offense. They've had opportunity to, they've looked good enough to drive down the field several occasions, but these penalties took advantage. And
Yeah, they'll move them back 5 yards, 1st and 15 on the 43-yard line of Stony Point. Leander gets set. Carter looking over the offense. McDaniel in motion. It is a handoff off the right side to Dotson. Gets about 4 yards back to the 39-yard line of Stony Point. 1:35 and running on the clock. They quickly get up into a huddle. They get back up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11 on the 39-yard line. McDaniel in motion, Carter onto the near side, and he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. A lot of pressure there by number 22.
We have some flags down. Number 22 on the tackle.
That is Trayvon Martin, and another flag is down. A lot of laundry out there tonight. This is getting crazy. See what they call here.
well, last week we were delayed by lightning. This week we're being delayed by penalties.
Yeah, and the umbrellas are starting to open up again. So unsportsmanlike conduct against Leander. So they will move them back 15.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the
And they'll set up the 38-yard line here for Leander. They're now on their 38-yard line.
I think if you're Coach Smith, you just want to run out the clock and get into the locker room and discuss this with your guys and try to come out in the second half with
no more negative yards here, and give Stony Point another opportunity to score with some timeouts. 3rd and forever for Leander. Pitch off to the right side. Dotson.
Hey, another flag.
He cuts up, and he gets a couple, maybe 3 or 4 yards. They'll blow it down. 1:05 left. They stop the clock, and there's a flag down at the 40-yard line of Leander.
You think they have a third down and 40 playbook play in their playbook?
Another offensive penalty against Leander. That'll be declined. So now we have a 4th down and 30 on their 32 or 42-yard line. So they're bringing the punting unit in with the 1:04. Just when we thought Leander was on the move with that 15-yard penalty, now they're back back to where they started.
As a
4th down.
Partner at Bible Stadium and the exclusive healthcare sponsor for LHS.
Yeah, you turn in a possible field goal opportunity negated by penalties.
So let's quickly go through our sponsors here. Bush's Chicken, Wingstop, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Farmers Insurance, McCoy Agency, American Pacific Mortgage with James Henderson, Allstate with Amy Maddox, Blue Door Realty Group with Stephanie Biggs, Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes, Earl and Janice Lott, Lexus of Austin with Randy Hoff, Dana Kerr Photography, and Milo Aquatics Pool Service. They sponsor the Leander Lions Football Booster Club, so we encourage you to support our sponsors. So Eli Gaiman is back for the punt here, 4th and 30 on their 42-yard line. He's standing about the 32-yard line. Snap is back, and the punt is off, And a good punt, good long punt, bounces about the 18, now about the 15, and they will down it on the 15-yard line with 53 seconds left here in the second quarter. So let's take a quick break, and we will be right back.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club would like to send a special shout-out to its platinum sponsors. First, James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage. Contact James and get $5,000 towards closing costs. That's James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage at hendersonlending.com. Also, Big Swig Water. Big Swig balances thirst-quenching bubbles and fresh flavor for a crushable beverage enjoyed any time of day. The can is bold, but the bubbles are refreshing, not overwhelming. It's perfect for hydrating during a weekend at Zilker Park, a weekday lunch, a night out.
So Stony Point starts out on their 15 as a handoff to number 4, Tyler Cleveland off the right side for a short gain. Gets about 2. That'll bring up a 2nd and 8 on the 17-yard line for Stony Point. 37 seconds, clock is running. Overton looks over to the sideline. Looks like they just might want to let this take one more play and go into half.
Yeah, they've had their fair share of penalties too. I'm pretty sure they're ready to get back in the locker room.
Clock goes down to under 20 seconds. Overton looking over the offense. He gets a snap and he drops it, and they dive on it at the 10-yard line. So another messy play, so that'll bring up a 3rd and about 15 here for Stony Point.
Well, nothing real positive going on with both these teams in this first half. You've got to hope that these coaches can get these kids in order and come out and play some good, clean football.
And that's it for the first half. Leander is trailing 13-0, but we've basically seen a display of a lot of ugly football out there with lots of penalties.
Yeah, I'd like to say the majority of it is the rain, but it really hasn't rained that much. Yeah, I'm sure the wet field and the wet ball has something to do with the mishaps that Stony Point's had. They've had quite a few fumbles or bobbles with the snap or catching the snap. So they've got to get that fixed, and Leander just got to fix these penalties. It's killed every one of their drives.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of flags on both teams, both sides of the ball. So I don't know what the penalty count is, but I'd say it's maybe even for both sides, but a lot of flags on both teams. So hopefully they'll clean that up the second half. Leander comes out, and if we didn't have those penalties, maybe a different ball game for Leander, but hopefully they'll clean that up, talk about it at halftime, and we will come back after the half, and we'll get on with the third quarter of play.
The Leander Lions Football Booster Club would like to send a special shout-out to its platinum sponsors. First, James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage. Contact James and get $5,000 towards closing costs. That's James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage at hendersonlending.com. Also, Big Swig Water. Big Swig balances thirst-quenching bubbles and fresh flavor for a crushable beverage enjoyed any time of day. The can is bold, but the bubbles are refreshing, not overwhelming. It's perfect for hydrating during a weekend at Zilker Park, a weekday lunch, a night out, and everything in between. Anywhere around Austin, Big Swig sparkling water brings a bubbly zip and burst of flavor, delivering Texas-sized refreshment. Crack one open. Thank you, Platinum sponsors, for sponsoring the Leander Lions Football Booster Club. Go Lions! The Leander Lions Football Booster Club would like to recognize its sponsors: Bush's Chicken, Wingstop, Rudy's Country Store and Barbecue, Farmers Insurance, the McCoy Agency, James Henderson with American Pacific Mortgage. Contact James and get $5,000 towards closing costs. Amy Maddox with Allstate, you're in good hands. Stephanie Biggs with Blue Door Realty Group, Mighty Fine Burgers, Fries, and Shakes, Randy Hoff with Lexus of Austin, Dana Kerr Photography, Earl and Janice Lott, Milo Aquatics, Pool Service and Remodels, and Big Swig Water. Thanks to all of the Leander Lion Football Booster Club sponsors. We appreciate your generosity. Go Lions!
And President Alexa Rios. Leading the team onto the field are the line officers from left to right. Second Lieutenant Reagan Hines. First Lieutenant Ariana Garcia. Captain Lexi Casey.
Returning Second Lieutenant Maddie Pazak. Second Lieutenant Faith Luera. This week's most motivated Tiger dancer is Alyssa Walters. Officer's Choice, Taz Cook. And Tiger Dancer of the Week is Sarah Kaiser. We hope you enjoyed tonight's kick routine to We Are Family. Now entering the field is the pride of Stony Point, the Tiger Band. The Tiger Band is led onto the field by drum majors Braden Carr, Destiny Millard, Anna Luna, and Blake Nipper. The directors are Thomas Tomzuk, Christopher Sanchez, and Matt Green. Drum instructor is Nathan Wade, and the color guard instructor is Tracy Wooten, assisted by Carlene Fisher. The section of the week is the baritones. The marcher of the week is Tori Thomason. The freshman marcher of the week is Devin Brown. The color guard member of the week is Ciara Giragabe. The Tiger Band is presenting this year's show, Carpe Noctem, Seize the Night, featuring the music of Giacomo Puccini's Nessun Dorma. Musical arrangements by Shane Kelbley. Tonight's feature soloists are Noemi Rossetti on flute and Rudy Carrasco on tuba. Drum majors, is your band ready? Tiger Band, you may take the field for your halftime performance.
Often imitated but never duplicated. Leander High School Bluebells, directed by Susan Schubert and Brooke Watuski. The Bluebells have been working hard to bring you several show-stopping performances this fall. Mark your calendars for October 24th and 25th. The Bluebells will perform at iDance with all other LISD dance teams. For more information, check us out at lhsbluebells.com. Bluebells would like to thank their sponsors, Move Dance and Fitness, Storage Direct, Leading Edge Personnel, Michelle Gomez of Keller Williams Realty, Cinemark, Primos Electric, Cedar Park Dance Company, and Brian Anthony's. The Bluebell officers are Captain Kaylin Winters, First Lieutenant Kaylee Gomez, Second Lieutenants Madeline Guerra, Annalie Herrera, and Sarah Shepline. Head Company Leader Mallory Weigel. Company Leaders Lindsay Bagby, Clarabella Reeve, Casey Stewart, and Sarah Wilcox. Along with the amazing Leander Band, here are the Bluebells with Please Don't Stop the Music.